Okay, Laura, we're going to review your lesson from yesterday. And the big thing that we really hit on yesterday was big improvement in getting the club down in a better direction. And what we want to avoid, this move is what we're really trying to work on avoiding. When you can keep your hands coming down under your shoulder. So if I drew this line, I would want your hands to stay under that line, like under your shoulder would be the ideal finish. But you see how far out they go? Okay, that's bound to hit what part of the club? The heel of the club, or as you used to do at times, miss it outside the ball. So when you miss, very often, swing and miss, it is a matter of the club coming down outside the ball, not above the ball. Sometimes, but that just shows you how wide that really is. And I'm going to give you a picture to compare it to. Might help, but we'll see. Like that. Under the shoulders. So there's your shoulders and there's your hands. Okay, there's what her arm looks like. And there's what your arm, your right forearm is parallel to the ground right now. Hers is pointed right down at the ball. So if I put a ball in your right hand and I said, Laura, throw that ball down at this ball, you wouldn't hit the ball, you'd be throwing it out here. This, we've made a lot of improvements in mechanically in your swing, and you're gaining more confidence, which is why you're picking up distance when you do hit it. But this is the one move that has to be corrected. I'm going to point out another arm here, which is the left arm is almost completely vertical, right? And yours is here. So it's kind of like, you know, if you were going to hit a softball maybe, or a forehand in tennis, that might be the type of swing that you would need. But for a golf swing, it has to be much more down. You see where your club comes to? That's pretty clear, isn't it? When you look at it, that image that way. And you go, there's my point right there. That's a miss. And it's a miss for one simple reason, that your hands are out. If we move the ball out here, or moved you standing way back here, which would just be a band-aid, it would still just be moving you back to where your hands are coming down, you'd hit that ball. But this is a classic example of your next step, habit that you have to break. And I think whatever it takes is that you would take maybe the 7-iron drill with the ball on the tee and your feet together, and feel your arms swinging as vertically as possible. Once we get past this next habit, your incidence of contact is going to go way up. Now, likely you think, well, I picked my head up, all right? That might be the first thought you had here, or I raised up. And that might be the case if you were missing above it. But you didn't miss this ball above it. There's where you started. And it's not even your body, because your butt is still on that line, that, you know, the thick behind you. It's not even like you're lunging out with your body. Your hands are several inches, maybe 6, out from your body where you started. And they have to get a feeling of swinging down in here. So you could do the feet together drill. You could also do some drills, Laura, where you actually tee up the ball Now see, what happened on these last two swings? Maybe I mentioned something in between, maybe I didn't. But let's look at this one. Versus this one. Same backswing. Look where you are at impact with the ball on the left versus where you are at impact with the ball on the right. There's so much more room, there's so much more distance in here. Your hands are way out here. Your arms are on a much better angle over here. It's like 15 degrees more vertical on the left. And that's where the ball is, right? It has to be vertical to, to come down. You have to, again, if I put a ball in your right hand and said throw it down to hit that ball, you'd hit it with the one on the left, but you'd be throwing it way outside the ball over here. The reason I keep coming back to this is there's drills, right? You can do the feet together. You can put a ball inside a tee inside a ball. Like you could put a tee right here, address the ball, and actually make a full golf swing and try to hit the tee. That may force your hands closer to what you're doing. But on the very next swing, I might have mentioned that it was too far out, but you corrected it yourself. You felt what your hands were doing there because you brought them down much more inside, and those are the ones that you're hitting good and with more power. So even your better ones, on the ones that you're hitting, are still hitting toward the heel of the club, which is costing you a little distance when you don't. But just keep it in. Keep it real tight to you, and the club's coming from inside. And then you finish with your turn through. A lot of improvement, and the fact that you hit those two shots right back to back there tells me that you're starting to feel the errors in what you did. Okay? Alrighty, we'll see you next time.